When we run, there are forces from nature that act on our body that impact our running. The most well-known are obviously gravity as well as ground reaction forces. When we think about planes of motion, there are three primary. There's a forward and backward plane of motion, a rotational plane of motion known as the transverse plane, and then of course there's a side-to-side plane of motion known as the frontal plane. It's logical to think that because we're moving in a forward direction, that the forward and backward or sagittal plane of motion is that plane that would have the greatest impact on our running. But the reality is that it's the rotational and especially the side-to-side or frontal plane that has the greatest impact on our running. And it's the plane of motion and the forces inherent that are acting on our body when we run that we have the most difficult time dealing with, especially on a single leg, which of course is what you're doing when you're running. You're jumping literally from one leg to the other approximately 700 to 800 times in a mile. So when we think about the side plank as an exercise, we have to consider this frontal plane. And setting up this exercise, we are challenging our trunk and our core, and in fact, one side of our body to be stiff, resilient, and to resist these forces in this side-to-side or frontal plane of motion.